Well, I'm sure every year you receive so many short films that are really like a first, what, 10 pages of a feature filmmaker's film. Is this a good strategy?
Well, going back to what we're discussing, yes, but I will say that there is something to be said for, the festival itself. We are screening short films, we're screening completed films. We want to screen something that's, if it's a competition for a category, this is a film that's, if it is a drama, you want it to be a completed film, a drama, not a open-ended 10-page, story where it's just basically the first act of something and it just leaves you open-ended, and then you're like, okay, this film itself isn't complete, so how do we take that? So you see some of that sometimes where they are literally like the opening act of a film. So what do we do with that? That's a challenge for us. Like, okay, is this something we want to program? Is this that we like the film enough, or again, there's other qualities where it's award caliber with its cinematography, or it's award caliber with its editing, or or the director's great, and we just feel like that this person can win that, potentially win that category, and things like that. Like in the competition sense. But what about the film itself? If playing an audience, if you're screening it for an audience, as part of a program, some of those films are very literal in the sense that they are made, very open-ended, 10, 15 pages in, 15-minute movie, opening of what it would be a feature, and then the movie just ends. So from that standpoint, that's incomplete. So how do we judge that? So you see that often enough, and that's something that, it's really hard to say. There isn't really a good answer. We've programmed some films like that, and some we haven't, partly because of that. We felt like, the film itself it felt like it wasn't done, and the story was incomplete. And so it's something that we, went ahead and passed on. And sometimes we just like the film enough, where the story is even going, and the execution of the film, and the quality, and so we go ahead and still program it. But that is the part of it that is tricky from the festival standpoint, because it's one thing to make the film that way to showcase for investors, but we're not just that. I mean, we're programming for an audience. It's not just like, hey, we're showcasing stuff for, for industry alone, or just for a specific batch of people to try to get investing. And so that's not what we're doing. I mean, that's what they're doing, and then they might want to set up a screening for those people independently with this film, like, oh, this is the first few minutes of my film, and this is what it will be. But that's not what we're doing. So that is something that's tricky, and we see that sometimes. And it's, to be honest, I'm not sure, really not sure how we feel about it. I mean, I like it. I like that people have that goal in mind, and they're already planning, and they're prepping, and they have probably a script in mind, and they're ready to go. And so when they go to a fest, they can go and network and pitch and say, okay, I have this ready, and they can pass on something, and they're ready to go. But at the same time, if we are, again, screening short films, that they are completed films. So there's great films that are out there winning awards, the Oscar-nominated shorts. Nothing is, obviously an incomplete film or a first 10 pages of a script, type of thing. Those films are short films, and they're completed, and they're great, and they're stories in themselves. They're not open-ended where it's like just an opening act of something. So that's something that obviously we kind of always struggle with for years now. I don't really know, we don't have a direct stance on. I don't know exactly our feeling on it. Just that again, we like the filmmakers to be aggressive and want to be trying to progress and move forward with a career, but at the same time, from the standpoint of the film, you want to screen the best films possible, and sometimes those films, because again they're not completed films, and they may not be up to par with some of the best films.